2024 has been a rough year for anyone who does cold email, and many businesses have died out because they stuck to strategies that have worked in 2023 but did not work in 2024. Guess what? We're headed into 2025 and so many things have changed. Guys, I'm Yannick. I'm absolutely obsessed with deliverability for cold emailers. I've built two softwares in that space, and actively I'm full-time the founder of sending.ac. This guide, however, in this video will give you a full breakdown of everything that you can use with or without a platform to maximize deliverability in 2025 and beyond. So let's get straight into it. This deliverability guide will be separated into two parts. Part one will go over basics. However, part two is going to be a very comprehensive strategy when it comes to deliverability. And many of you will probably have never heard of some of the things we will be talking about in this video that maximize your chance of landing in the primary inbox. So let's go over the basics. The absolute bare minimum, sending text only, no HTML. You want to clean your list and just not be sending to invalid emails. Those are obviously given. However, domains are now increasingly flagged when they are absolutely new. Okay, so you will have a much better time by using age domains. The older, the better, but up to 2 weeks aging is already a massive help. Keep in mind, this is not an absolute necessity, and many of our users also don't do that. However, it is helpful to buy some domains and just have them sitting there ready to switch out. That's a very easy thing to predict if you're in this business for longer than 2 weeks, to just have them bought a bit earlier. So age domains help. The next thing is warm up. 5 to 7 days is definitely on a shorter side of things, but because we do very low volume per mailbox, this is often enough. If you go with another provider, you might want to go with a longer warm-up period, but for sending.ac, so you can have a look right here with a platform, it is actually often enough to just be going with 5 to 7 day ramp up when it comes to warm-up. In terms of sending behavior, the days of sending 50 emails per day per mailbox are simply over, okay? You want to say low volume and just want to look as human as possible. So low volume mean anywhere between 5 to 15 mails per day per mailbox. And now you can see that even this is considered now part of the basic strategy is that you always, and I really mean always, want to have backup infrastructure on the ready, warmed up, so you can just switch them out when things go bad. The life cycles are decreasing more and more, so it is no longer feasible to stick to one infrastructure for 6 months. You have to switch them out early and earlier. So that's a basic overview. That is definitely a must-have. And now it should get exciting because we're going to go over some of the advanced strategies that you should be doing in 2025 and beyond. So you want to maximize reply rate. Okay, that's still in the category of bare minimum. So everything that you do on a copywriting angle, on like your offer, just make sure people reply. Do a PS line of like, if you want to opt out, reply with no, like you get the idea. That's still considered bare minimum. When it comes to domains, okay, here's something that people have not been looking at. Number one is you want to aim for a lower age to use ratio. This is something that we make very easy for our users. You can try to track that yourself in a spreadsheet. What that means is used is the time when you are sending outbound or outbound and warm up, and age is the time of purchasing it, where it has either been sitting inactively or has been sending warm up emails only. If you look at those ratios, you can tell that if you have a lower ratio of used to age, you will have a much better time and a longer life cycle of your deliverability. Okay, so that is something that we believe we are one of the first people to make it super easy for users, and people have not been taking that into account whatsoever. And how many people are used to is having one domain, one mailbox or two mailboxes, and then having many domains. With sending.ac, you can have unlimited mailboxes on one domain. However, there is still a benefit to spread that out horizontally on domains. Okay, so that is an aspect. It does help, but because of all the things that we're innovating, in our beta stage, we have been onboarding many users on 1.6K daily per domain. Yes. However, we are still experimenting what the golden ratio is of those volume for our beta users. And in any scenario later on after the beta, you will be able to have more domain slots if you choose to have them to be even more perfect for deliverability horizontally, low volume per domain. Okay. So the next one is also something people are not doing enough, and that is to diversify the warm-up identifier. For example, if you have one of the mailboxes, do 20 mailboxes that have this identifier, 21 to 40 mailboxes to this identifier, okay? So you want to diversify them a little bit, and you want to rotate them out on a fairly regular basis. Whether that is weekly or monthly, that depends on you, on how much you want to do for deliverability. All right. Then the next thing for sending behavior, you want to have very low out to warm ratio. This is again something that we are innovating on, and it's something that I have not seen in any other platform. And you can see here that it's basically measuring how many outbound emails have been outreach and how many outbound emails have been warm up. For example, there was a time when people have been sending 30 outreach emails and put 10 warm up emails per mailbox. So the ratio has been actually quite bad, right? So if you want to reduce even further, so for example, you want to send 5 outbound emails and have 20 warm up, that is gonna be better for deliverability because your outreach emails are gonna merge more into the total emails and have a higher reply rate, because the warm up emails, you can inflate the reply percentage and it will bring up the overall average, and your outreach emails will slip through more easily under the radar. So having a low out to warm ratio is absolutely key. And again, in sending AC, we make it very easy also on a mailbox level to see all of those metrics quite easily. All right. So that is definitely what you want to be doing. You want to aim for a low out to warm ratio, and you want to have half in and half out rotation. This is a very advanced trick for 2025. Some of the best people have already been starting to do that. The majority of people are not doing that right now. And this is one of the best ways to extend the lifetime of your infrastructure and to make deliverability better while you use it, and also to decrease the out to warm ratio even further. The way it works, if you have 100 mailboxes on that one domain, which is possible with an infrastructure like sending.ac, otherwise 2 mailboxes per one domain, yeah, you get the idea. So in our case, you can have 100 mailboxes per one domain, even more if you want. You have 50 of them, for example, only sending warm-up emails. And then the other 50, you have sending warm-up plus outreach. You will just rotate back and forth between which one do warm-up only and which one do outreach and warm-up. And if you want to take it a step further, you can even go ahead and you can make it ABC. So you can have 33% being outreach and warm-up, and then 67% being warm-up only. And you can just basically rotate A does outreach, B does outreach, C does outreach instead of A, B, A, B. Yeah, so you can take this to however extent you want to do it, but this will be a massive key strategy for the absolute pros in 2025 and beyond. The next thing on the sending behavior part is that you want to have a very low volume. 15 per day, of course, is good on a basic side, but if you want to have the best performance, you want to have, for example, only 8 emails per mailbox. In this case, 3 out, 5 warm would be a decent enough out to warm ratio and still a low volume. This gets extremely expensive if we use G Suite, etc. With our platform, you are able to have unlimited mailboxes, and you can put categories onto each mailbox. So what happens is you can, if you diversify on a basic level, you could be creating a lot of primary as well as backup from the same domain. You can just switch them out. But when you want to perform at the absolute best, you want to actually have dedicated domains that are simply for primary and simply for backup. Dedicated primary just for domain A and dedicated backup for domain B, so that way you have truly fresh infrastructure to swap out if necessary. And you can do a mixture of all of those, right? Then you have to just be replacing infrastructures more regularly. Okay, it gets super expensive if you have a setup where you have 2 mailboxes per one domain. Switching out is a very expensive thing to do. If you have very few domains like with us, it's a very easy thing to do. And we recommend you guys to be switching it out on a regular basis because the life cycle just simply shortens. It's not black and white. We call it email deliverability. It's not that someday it's going to work and someday it doesn't. No, the deliverability is going to degrade in quality. Okay, and that means that if you switch it out early enough, you will have the highest deliverability for the longest time, because whenever, let's say this is your maximum deliverability, this is no deliverability, okay? If you keep on using the same infrastructure for a very long time, you will be using it in this range, and you will just have a massive opportunity cost, because all of those people will not see your emails anymore, because only those people will see your email, because the deliverability already got worse. If you just switch it out early, you still have maximum deliverability. You see, so that's why it's very important to replace it regularly and often. Okay, so that is for the sending behavior as well as diversification. And on the last point, you want to make sure that you also monitor it correctly. This is a little bit difficult depending how you want to approach it. With sending SE, it's very easy because that's why we've built the software to allow you to do that in the easiest way that has never been done before. With sending SE, you can just filter. You can filter for reply percentage, for bounce rate, and then you can just see which mailboxes are performing the worst, and then you can just go and proactively improve them. So if you have a low reply rate, you can inflate the warm-up reply percentage and thereby nurture those specific mailboxes to better health and better deliverability. So you do that in a warm-up pool wherever your warm-ups are being sent. However, if you have a mailbox that has higher bounce rate on that specific mailbox, what you want to do is immediately replace that. With sending AC, it's very easy to just turn them off and then you just replace them with a fresh backup that you have available, right? So uh, nurture low reply mailboxes by inflating the warm-up reply percentage and replace mailboxes that have a high bounce rate. And then, of course, if the domain is blacklisted, just throw away the entire infrastructure and replace it with a new one. This will be your best bet. There is absolutely no value in having a lower deliverability, and just the opportunity cost is honestly too great, especially when it only costs you a few domains to switch out the entire infra as opposed to thousands of dollars because we had, again, one mailbox per domain. So that is a full overview. It's really fairly quite advanced. Please let me know in the comments, or just let me know if this is something that you've seen before or if it truly is as innovative that we believe it is. And you can use all of those strategies by yourself with your own setup of whoever your provider is, however you want to do it. Just keep in mind that it might be more costly. It depends on your setup. If it's good, then go for that. And if you want to try sending.ac, that will be awesome. We're great to have you on board because right now we actually have a closed beta where we provide you with basically so much for free. So just go ahead and sign up. The only catch is that it's on an application basis only. But for that duration, if you get accepted, you'll have a phenomenal time testing our product and just giving us feedback on deliverability. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this helped you. I understand how to thrive in the year that is ahead. And yep, that's that's it. See you guys in the next one. I hope this helps you.